Alright, I thought I'd stay up for a few hours and talk. Cause fuck it. I'm not tired right now. I mean, I am tired, but I kind of want to talk to my people on here, Shit. Kind of in that mood. I'm going to turn on some Flash, watch some Flash background. Because I want to, and I'm going to, so fuck it. Fuck it. Hey, what's up? Hey, listen, I thought I wanted to go. I decided instead of going to bed, I'm going to go live. I'm going to go live and talk with you because we were talking about comic books and talking about all these cool, details and stories about all these different things. Discussing Superman comics and Batman comics and all that shit. So I thought I'd hop on here tonight and talk to you about it with anyone else who wants to join and listen as we go along with this little discussion we were having. I'm putting on The Flash right now. I'm watching The Flash, the one that you rented from the library that you got for me. I'm going to put on disc 2 and watch it. I kind of enjoy the series. It's a lot like Green Arrow. Similar to Green Arrow. And I've seen the Flash show years and years ago, but I haven't watched all of them. And this is season 5, so I need to rent season 1 and 2 and 3 because last time I watched this show years ago, it was when me and Trent were still... Okay, that's cool. I'm glad I got it for you. Yeah, thanks for getting it for me. I got to turn the TV down real quick. I don't want to... Push play real quick. I'm going to push play on the TV remote. But yeah... This is a pretty good show, though, no doubt about it, though. I mean, it's a good show. It's a lot like it is a lot like Green Arrow. I mean, Green Arrow has done crossovers with the Flash before, and out of the two shows, I mean, like I said, I can't say which one's better because I need to 1, 2, and 3 of Flash before I can make a... sorry, I'm putting something up in my closet as I'm talking. I would have to watch season 1, 2, and 3 of The Flash and watch more of Green Arrow because I only have season 1 and 2 of Green Arrow. I need to get season 3 and 4 so I can decide which show is better in my opinion, because I'd have to see more episodes of both shows to formulate an opinion about which show I like the best. It's kind of when I'm getting into Sons of Anarchy and just now started watching Breaking Bad a while back, and it's kind of hard to what show I like, because Sons of Anarchy is good, but Breaking Bad's also really good as well. So it's kind of hard to debate which one of those shows are also good as well, because when you get into TV shows, sometimes you go back and think and you wonder which show is the best, especially when you're you're getting into two shows at the same time. I'm still getting into Breaking Bad, I'm still getting into Sons of Anarchy, and then now I'm watching The Flash, and then I'm watching Green Arrow, and all these shows, and it's which one's my favorite. It's kind of hard to formulate an opinion so early when I haven't seen all of them. If I really have to be honest with you, and I know you ain't seen a lot of Breaking Bad, I would honestly say that closet. I honestly would have to say, without a doubt, Breaking Bad. I think I might like more than Sons of Anarchy, but I'd have to see more Sons of Anarchy. You know, when you've only seen the show, you've only seen like seasons 1, 2, and 3 of both shows, and you ain't seen enough of both shows. It's kind of hard to, like I said, formulate an opinion on which show is the best. But I think I like the plot of Breaking Bad a little bit better than Sons of Anarchy, because if you Sons of Anarchy is just, it just basically contains bikers and drug deals and stuff. I mean, Breaking Bad is kind of in that same region where it just, drugs and whatnot, but that's more of a story about a chemistry teacher who's dying of cancer, who's needing money for, finance problems and stuff like that. Whereas Sons of Anarchy, it's just typical biker stuff. So I would say that I think Breaking Bad has a better plot than Sons of Anarchy. I mean, they're both similar, kind of like how Flash and Green Arrow is similar because it's both about superheroes. But, Flash is more of a hero, whereas Green Arrow is more of a vigilante. But at the same time, I don't know, there might be a lot of people out there who do enjoy the Flash show over Green Arrow. But like I said, I just need to see both of more. But as far as it goes with Breaking Bad, Sons of Anarchy, I definitely would say that Breaking Bad's got a better story than Sons of Anarchy. But I'm not saying Breaking Bad is better than Sons of Anarchy by any means. I just mean the fucking plot. It sounds more interesting. I know it does. It does. That's true. It does. Yeah. I mean, it is more interesting in that aspect, yes. But, I mean, both shows can be very good in their own way. I mean, they can both be very tolerable. When it comes to, I guess it really just depends what mood you're in. Like what mood you're in at the moment. I'm gonna go turn the air unit on. I'll be right back. I'm fucking hot in this room. I'm sorry, my ACV ain't on, and I gotta go turn it on and shit. I'll be right back. Oh, and yeah, just another thing, just so anybody that's watching my stream tonight, don't spoil it for me about, how both shows end or any of the shows, because I haven't seen the end of Sons of Anarchy, and I haven't seen the end of Breaking Bad either, so I don't know what happens. I think I have an idea what happens, but I don't know. As far as it goes with the Flash and Green Arrow, I don't know how those shows end either. I do know that Ezra Bridger, I think that's his name, the guy from the Justice League movie that played as the Flash. I know he makes an appearance on the Flash TV show. In one of the seasons, he makes an appearance. Because I think they did an episode, but like I said, I haven't watched all of it, but I think I saw somewhere online on YouTube that they were doing these multiverses where they were going to different multiverses in the DC universe or whatever. Because DC's known for that. DC's known for exploring all these multiverses and shit like that, all these different versions of Superman, Batman, and all these just different versions. I know in the Superman and Lois show, I know that Smallville, if any of y'all remember Smallville from back in the day, which was another Superman spinoff show, I know the actor made an appearance. I just can't remember his name, but y'all might remember him from the movie Cheaper by the Dozen. He was the football brother jock. He was the I just can't think of that actor's name, but y'all might know. But yeah, I know he made an appearance in Superman and Lois. I did like the fact that the Flash movie, the one with Ezra, can't say his last name, Bridger, whatever the fuck his name is. I know that in the Flash movie, I know Michael Keaton's Batman returned, which I thought was fucking awesome. Yeah, I get what you mean. It is hard. It is hard to pick what shows you like because, man, there's so many good shows. I just finished watching all the Gotham series. I finished up with Gotham. And then I went on to watch, after Gotham, I went on to watch, finish the rest of the Green Arrows, season 1 and 2, and I need to get season 3, 4. Now I'm watching The Flash, and before I was watching The Flash, I was watching season 1, 2 of Breaking Bad. Caught up on all these shows, man. I need to get caught up on all these like shows, and because sometimes when you're distracted or something's going on in your life, or you're going through some kind of fucking midlife crisis, you don't get to finish watching everything because either you got a job or you're just busy or you're caught up in shit or you got all these other things on your mind at the time. But man, it would be awesome just to catch up on all this stuff and see where all the stuff, see what all happens and whatnot. And yeah, by the way, if anyone's wondering why I need the chat, I said that I put it like the chat as like 2:16 something like time for the devil to come out or whatever, and I use like a pentagram. Yeah, I just did that to be funny. I'm not a Satanist by any sort of the means. I'm not religious at all. I'm not a religious person. Of course, baby. Someone would put, "Of course, baby?" ? Yeah, that's my girlfriend. The one that's calling me baby. The one that says "that's good, baby" and says "right, baby." Yeah, that's just my girlfriend talking. But I see your sarcasm. I get what you mean. Being funny like that. But hell, shit. Welcome to the chat. Talk about anything. Just long as it ain't like inappropriate shit, like sexual shit. Because then if you say sexual shit, I'm gonna have to fucking remove you. Because I don't tolerate that kind of crap. Like I like to keep everything on a professional basis. Like I like everything just like everybody just be cool with one another. No bullshit. No trolling or anything like that. Oh, now we got 11 viewers watching. Sweet. Tits. That's tits. I mean, I've had more viewers than 11 viewers watch me, but I mean, like, it's still tits, having 11 people here watching. But, oh shit, where did my 11 viewers go? Oh, they're gone. I was going to ask, what about the Epstein files? So I guess that's what... The Epstein files, I don't know nothing about no damn Epstein files. If you're saying that Trump has something to do with that, I likely doubt it. I likely doubt Trump has anything to do with that. I mean, love him or hate him, I don't think he has anything to do with anything like that. I mean, I don't know. Probably fucking Bill Clinton or someone like that, but not fucking Trump. I likely doubt Trump has anything to do with Jeffrey Epstein. And plus, that fucking dude's dead. Who gives a shit? Who gives a fuck about this? I mean, you'd have to be really stupid to think that Trump has something to do with that. Because if Trump had something to do with the Jeffrey Epstein shit, what would be his reasoning for kicking all these rapists and drug lords from Mexico out of the country? If he was part of a sex trade, why would he be kicking people out like the cartels that are associated with that? So if the stupid ass fucking liberals are the ones saying that, oh, Trump has something to do with Jeffrey Epstein, I call bullshit on that, because how could he have something to do with that when that involves child sex slavery, and he's trying to get that shit out of the country. So if he's trying to get something like that out of the country, why would he be a part of it? I mean, do y'all ever stop and think about what I just said? I mean, because it's very logical. Like, if you're trying to get people who are bad out of this country, how could you yourself be associated with something bad? Like, you shouldn't be asking questions like, oh, well, you think Trump's part of the Jeffrey Epstein files? No, I don't think he's part of the Jeffrey Epstein files. But I know that fucking Hunter Biden in his laptop had incriminating evidence of him showing that he was in cahoots with the fucking drug cartels. And I don't see anyone saying anything about that. But yet you got people making up these stupid-ass rumors and speculations that Trump has something to do with the Epstein case. I mean, there's really no logic to that whatsoever. I think a lot of people in their heads are on... I guess so, man. I don't know. I mean, we'd have to see actual evidence of Trump. Like, we'd have to see, like, footage or something. Not what's on paper. Because, here's the thing. Unless you're a fucking Bible-thumping Christian, and your whole thought process is to go by everything that's written in fucking script, you would have to, some way, somehow, show some kind of factual evidence. Like, we're talking video, picture of something showing that Trump had something to do with Jeffrey Epstein. Reading something by a page or by a script isn't proof. I'm the kind of person that I go, like, when I do my research, I go based on factual photograph pictures and, like, scientific evidence that is, like, experimented on, like, in a fucking lab where they can actually show you the shit. Like, you know, like how they showed and proved that dinosaurs exist. It was through testing in DNA of the dinosaurs' bones and cells and shit like that. That's how we know dinosaurs existed. But if you're just going off some bullshit list of Trump's name being thrown out there about some sex crap, I'll highly unlikely doubt that that's even real. That's probably just all fucking dirt sheet shit, you know? Kind of like if you're a wrestling fan, you know, if you're like into fucking WWE, which I'm not, I used to be, but you know how like WWE wrestlers, you got people like fucking Dave Meltzer. I don't know if y'all know who Dave Meltzer is, but there's a guy named Dave Meltzer. He's part of this wrestling book report shit. Well, he's always going online and he's always giving out these hints about what the wrestling matches are going to be, like that outcome, like, oh, John Cena's going to win the title, or and he just, what it is he assumes shit, and he gets the, like, say, the wrestling fans and the wrestling community so drilled into that he's trying to get people fooled into believing it. So it's kind of like that. You know, just to take something else out of the equation as an example, and just kind of like, yeah, basically, there's people online that will say shit for clout, for attention, just so they can get people to believe it. That's another reason I like Trump. I like Trump because of the fact that he doesn't go by what the media says. He's not like, if you notice about liberals will believe everything they fucking hear, regardless of what it is or who's saying it. They will always believe it, but they'll never provide any evidence. The liberals are so fucking corrupt that they're the biggest joke on the planet. Like, the Democratic Party is the biggest joke on the fucking planet. I mean, we're talking about people who founded the fucking KKK and fucking got mad because the Republicans freed slavery because of Abraham Lincoln, and then so the liberals got ticked off and went and hired John Wilkes Booth to go and assassinate him, and then years later they would start the KKK and shit. And, you know, they're fucking Confederate flags and shit like that, which I don't have nothing against a Confederate flag. Confederate flag ain't a bad flag. It's just a flag that represents the South, but was once used by the Democratic Party. But for some stupid shit reason, they say the Republicans are the ones that used it. As far as I know, the Republicans have always been associated with the American flag. So everything the liberals do, they try to lie and spectate a bunch of bullshit, all for attention and clout, and they try to pander themselves to all these minority groups. Like they try to pander themselves to the LGBT, to the black community and all that. And it's all in the name of chaos and riots. But like when George Floyd fucking died, nobody did it to honor him. They did it as an excuse to take the man's death just so they could have an excuse just to go and riot and destroy businesses and companies. I mean, if you don't like the fucking police, I get that. I don't like the fucking police myself, but I'm not going to be a fucking degenerate and go out there and cause chaos and mass fucking genocide by burning cars and shooting people and shit like that. But see, that's what the left tries to promote. The left promotes all this chaos. And it's the conservatives, it's the Republicans that want to make shit go back to, you know, to establish law and order to its rightful place. And the liberals are wanting to fucking start all this bullshit war with the country in itself. I mean, I'm not a fan of guys like Alex Jones and people like Ben Shapiro, but I do agree with them that I would rather side with them than side with anybody from the fucking left. Just saying. Let you out of the basement. What? What are you doing in the basement? Playing with yourself? You got a fucking dude on your lap blowing you or some shit? I mean, what kind of stupid fucking shit is that? Like, how old are you? Fucking 12? Fucking retards, man. I don't care. I'm not going to acknowledge some retards comment. I mean, unless you have the balls to come on here and actually say the shit where we can actually hear your fucking little Mickey Mouse voice, I can just sit there and easily ignore your fucking comment because it's stupid. Fucking retard. I'm going to block this idiot. Fucking remove that idiot's comment. Well, not Trump, but people like the Clintons being on his job. There got to be. I guess so, but and even if you don't like Trump, it's better to be on Trump's side than someone like the Clintons or anybody else. I don't trust fucking liberals. I mean, I always agree with everything Trump says, but I am a Trump supporter. But I'm not one of those, like, fucking Trump supporters that goes out and tries to, like, protest about it and shit. I mean, I'm a Trump supporter, but I'm a different kind of Trump supporter. Like, I do have a Trump hat, but I don't, like, wake up every fucking day wearing it. Like, you do notice there is a lot of Trump supporters that do that. Like, they'll wake up every day and they'll put on their little MAGA hat. I do have a MAGA hat, but it don't say MAGA on it. It's a Trump hat, but it's associated with MAGA, but it's like I don't fucking put it on my head every 24/7 and like take a selfie with it or whatever. Like there's this one dude, I do follow this one guy who's a Trump supporter like me, but like every stream he wears the same hat. And it's like I just don't wear a hat. Like if the subject of politics get brought up, like, I'll straight up tell everyone I'm a Republican for sure, right? But I'm not going to, like, advertise it everywhere I go. And then some people, they like to advertise shit, and there's nothing wrong with advertising, like, showing support for who you like. But it's just, the only downside to it is when you come across someone who has, like, a different opinion than you, then they want to debate you and ask you this. Like, for example, if somebody was down my street right now with a fucking gay rainbow flag, I'm obviously going to be, like, turned away from that shit. Like, I'm going to just, like, ignore what I'm seeing. I'm not going to approach them and be a dick and be like, yo, hey, fuck your flag. I mean, even knowing I don't like their flag and I don't care for the LGBTQ, I'm not going to go up to them and assault them just for being a supporter of that. And you do notice that Republicans don't give a shit if you're a Democrat. Like, here's the difference between Democrat and Republican. Republican don't give a fuck. Republicans don't give a fuck. Like, if you're on the opposite side, we don't care. But when you're a Democrat and you see a Republican, your main priority is to, argue and start this, because what Democrats do is they want attention. They want start arguments and say shit and fucking do things just to get a fucking reaction. Like, I remember there was a dude wearing a Trump shirt in New York on YouTube, and he was, wearing a Trump shirt and a Trump hat. And he went over there where the fucking liberals were at, and they were all calling him racist and all this other shit. And then there was a Democrat who went over to the Republican side, and nobody messed with him. Nobody said shit. That's because when it comes to Republicans, unlike Democrats, we can sit back and let people do their thing without judging them. Whereas Democrats, all they fucking do is harp and bitch and moan about whatever they see different. So it's funny for a party that says they're for gays or all these different groups, they like to be so biased and so judgmental towards people who are like straight, normal, or got families or single or whatever. Like they're so biased about shit. I'm starting to think that how can the fucking left say they care about all these groups, but then they go and bully and antagonize people? But then they say they're like anti-bully, but they are the bullies. That's the thing. Republicans are not bullies. I've seen nothing but Republicans trying to help people and cope with people. I'm not saying everything the Republican Party does is great, but it's far better than the fucking left, for sure. Hey, what this live about? This is just random shit. We're talking random shit. We went from talking about fucking comic books, TV shows, to politics because someone in here brought up the fucking Jeff Epstein shit. Which I don't even know why anyone's bringing up the Epstein shit, because first off, this fucking live stream, if you go back and look at the title of it, it has nothing to do with politics. But whatever. If we're going to talk about politics, I guess we're going to talk about fucking politics. It really don't make a fuck. We could talk about two dogs screwing each other on the side of the road. That would be more of a interesting topic than politics. I get tired of talking about politics. But if you want to know whose side I'm on Trump's side, dude. I don't give a shit who that bothers or who that offends. I don't care. Like, think what you want. Don't like Trump 100%. I think he's doing great, but the whole... I get that. Hey, I get that, You don't have to like Trump, but you can, think what you want about him. Like, you can think he's great. I mean, or not he's great, but you can think that he's doing great for the country. I get that. Like I said, I don't agree with everything he says, but I do like him I support him and I do like him, but I'm not like, just because you support someone doesn't mean you always have to agree with them. You know what I'm saying? I do agree with what he's doing and everything, but while back when he had Elon in the White House, I did kind of disagree with some of the things he was doing. But it just really depends. I don't think I'll stop supporting Trump, but if I did stop supporting him, he would have to do something really fucking stupid in order for me to stop supporting him. But the way I see it as of right now, he hasn't done anything wrong. It's just more liberal bullshit that's being projected onto him by the fucking media. I mean, for real. Anyway, yeah. What? I don't know what the fuck just happened. I think I booted off. I don't support Trump, but some Democrats really just go off on the edge of... Well, like I said, I don't know if you're still fucking here or not. You don't, like I said, you don't have to like Trump. But as far as it goes with what you're saying about Democrats, yeah, I agree. They're fucking idiots. By the way, Asher, you still here? You still here? I don't know if she's still here or not. All right, you're still here. Cool. Oh, it's whatever, man. Oh wait. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. I got distracted, guys. I got sidetracked. Oh, that's cool. You guys are both here. Cool. Cool. Like it don't fucking matter. I mean, if you don't like someone, you don't. It's fine. I don't. I mean, we can get in the topic of, like, we could argue, like, what franchise is better, Star Wars or Lord of the Rings? I mean, I know that's a whole separate conversation than what we were talking about, but what I'm getting at is, if you was to ask me, for example, like that, just to go off subject here for a moment, if you was to ask me which franchise is better, Lord of the Rings or Star Wars, I'd say Star Wars. Because it's got this sci-fi, action, comedy, like, experience. And Lord of the Rings is just a movie about a fucking ring, really. There's nothing too special about it. But, it'd be cool if we had more debates, like, more subjects of, like, movies, something, or shows than talk about fucking politics. Because, I mean, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I do get tired of talking about politics. I know in the past on this channel, I talked about politics a lot. But I'm getting more, like, out of the zone of talking about that and going on to more interesting topics. It's like, it's kind of like when you go to your family's, like, think, want to, like, talk about, all different things, like, NASCAR, sports, whatever, and then someone just has to bring politics up or bring up, like, religion or something. It's just something you don't want to talk about. It's like, who cares, I mean, you could wear a polka dotted dress and your skin could be yellow for all I give a shit. I mean, it's not like I hate anybody for being different. But, that's besides the point. Right now I'm watching The Flash. I'm watching season 5 of The Flash, just so everybody knows that's what I'm doing. And honestly, I would rather talk about what I'm watching than whatever I was asked a minute ago. I know. I don't fucking care for... I don't care for politics either, man. Like, I don't, What about ghosts? I believe. Do you believe? No, I don't believe, because there's no scientific historical proof of it. I believe in evolution. I'm a man of science. I'm a man of facts. I'm a man of logic. I'm an atheist. I don't believe in spirituality. I'm not a fucking Christian. I'm not an agnostic. I'm not any of those things. I am a hardcore atheist. I'm an anti-theist. That's pretty much where I stand on that. That's pretty much where I stand on that argument. If anyone, was to ask me or want to know or debate me about that, I'd obviously tell them I'm an atheist for sure. Yeah. Yeah, Flash is cool. But yeah, I just don't believe in magical deities and magical Caspers and shit like that. Uh, you're entitled to believe what you want. But far as I go, far as it goes with me, I don't believe in anything. I mean, I believe in science because it's, it's proof of, it's real because it's, yeah. I just said my beliefs is basically evolution, science, matter, reality. So that pretty much qualifies as atheism. Atheism's not a fucking religion. If you know anything about atheism, it's not a religion. Any more questions? Like any more interesting questions besides politics and religion? Like, is there any other better questions than what I'm basically being asked? Like, you could ask me what my favorite movie is, or what my favorite hobby is, or what I do for a living, or some shit like that. I mean, do we really have to talk about religion and politics? God damn. I mean, I do dive. Okay, so like I do dive into conspiracy theories. And Jedi is a religion. Yeah, I mean Jedi is a religion. I mean, yeah, but that's a fucking religion we all wish could come true and was real. Hell, I'd love to use the Force. Because do you actually know the Force isn't magic? It's science. It's midichlorians. So in the Star Wars aspect, it's basically science. Believe it or not, because they live in your body. They live in your body. Midichlorians live in your body. That's why when you watched Episode 1, Phantom Menace, that's why Qui-Gon looks at fucking young Anakin and he says, what is that stuff in my, he's looking into his blood cells and he's like, what's that floaty stuff? And he's like, oh, that's midichlorians. That's what gives you the natural ability to use the Force. I wish that shit was real. I mean, I know that sounds like a, real nerdy thing to say, but I do wish Star Wars was real. I mean, shit, man. Go on these space adventures and shit. Hell yeah. But here's the question. Here's the real question. Would you be a Jedi? Would you be a Sith? Would you be a Stormtrooper? That's the real question. For me, I would have to pick a certain era. Like either Clone Wars, the Old Republic era, or like the Galactic Wars. For me, it's a toss-up between the Old Republic or the Clone Wars. Yeah. I mean, I might just want to say screw force power, force abilities, and I just might want to be a fucking clone, because when I was a kid, I was obsessed with clone troopers, man. I thought they were just like the perfect soldier in Star Wars. But yeah, being a Sith would be cool. Like, okay. Here, okay. I'll make this fair for everybody that's listening to this right now. If I was in the Old Republic era, I would be a Sith. Hands down, I would be a Sith. Okay, but if I was in the Clone Wars era, I would definitely be a clone, because I'd rather be a clone than a fucking Jedi, because Jedis are just really stubborn and very self-centered, and they just have like such a ego about their self-taught ways. I would rather be a clone, so when like fucking Order 66 comes, I fucking get to gun down a bunch of Jedi. And possibly fucking steal one of their lightsabers. But the only downside of being a fucking clone trooper is, if y'all know, because if y'all are Star Wars fans like me, clone troopers age rapid. So they don't age like how we age. They age really fast. That's the only sucky thing. But like, I would have to get like my Hibrider chip removed. Like, if clones get their chip removed from their bodies, that means they're in control of not only their own mind, and not controlled by the Emperor, but they're in control of their own mind and body, and also they age normal. That's why, like, Boba Fett, because he's a clone, he's an unmodified clone, but he's a clone, that's why he aged normal compared to all the rest of the other clones, because he wasn't meant to only last for war. He was meant to last the normal lifespan of a human being. So I guess I would be like an unmodified clone. I would like to be like an unmodified clone with no Hibrider chip. But either way, I think I would gun down the Jedi. Just have a fucking Jedi Holocaust, start shooting Jedi. Because fucking, I'm not a fan of the Jedi. I mean, there is some cool Jedis, like there's Jedi Plo Koon and Mace Windu I like and all them. But I just, it would either be a toss-up between a fucking Sith or a clone trooper. And if you ask me about stormtroopers, like if you legitimately ask me about stormtroopers, the key difference between stormtroopers, hold on, let me turn off my lights 1 second. Sorry, my bedroom light was on. I had to turn it on for a second because I had to charge my phone. But anyway, the key difference between stormtroopers and clone troopers, and I had an argument about this with my girlfriend's brother over this shit. basically, I think clones are better soldiers than stormtroopers because stormtroopers, number one, they are regular humans like you and me, and they weren't made and breeded for war, and their DNA doesn't come from a bounty hunter. Like their DNA is just human DNA. What makes clones so special is they're the perfect super soldier for war because not only do they take orders without asking questions, they have all this training and combat, and they're very good. Like their marksmanship is good. They're good shooters. They're very tactical and skilled in war, and they kick a lot of ass on the battlefield because they fight droids. If you pin a bunch of stormtroopers versus droids, hands down, I think the droids separatists would beat the Empire. I definitely believe that because the stormtroopers, the downside is they got shot by a freaking farm boy and a princess and lost to a bunch of teddy bears. Now, you may argue, well, that was on a planet they weren't used to. Well, I get that. But they're nothing like the clones. Like, the clones was able to gun down millions of Jedi at the Jedi Temple. On top of it, they were just better, more skilled, trained soldiers, and they could actually shoot and hit their target, whereas stormtroopers can't even fucking hit their target. Even if their life depended on it, they can't. They got taken out by a farm boy and a princess at the end of the day. So when you're taken out by a princess and a farm boy and a bunch of teddy bears, you're not such a good army, and your armor sucks. I would say clone armor is way more effective and better in war than stormtrooper armor. My thoughts on aliens, like in Star Wars, the aliens. Well, there's all these different races of aliens and stuff. One alien in particularly that I like is Boss, the bounty hunter, and I'm going to tell you why. Well, like the Wookiees, his race, which is what is the name of his race? I used to know it. What the hell? I do know it. I just can't think of it right now. Trandoshans. Yes, they're called the Trandoshans. The Trandoshan race, they're pretty cool because they're like a reptilian human kind of species, and they're really fast, and they're good at hunting, very skilled, and it would honestly be cool to be a Trandoshan. It would be cool to be a Wookiee too, but I think it'd be more cool to be a Trandoshan. Or maybe even a Tusken Raider on Tatooine. They're cool. Oh, you said that's why I think the clones are better. Yeah, going back to the clones, yeah. The clones are literally the best soldiers in Star Wars. You cannot fucking deny they're the best. They're better than the droids because their accuracy, their smarts, they're skilled. I mean, I honestly think the Republic had a better army than both the Separatist, Empire, and Rebellion. Because the fucking Rebellion was just like a bunch of skin hat wearing nobodies who pretty much lost to a bunch of, yeah. I would say the clones are better. They're like the best military group in Star Wars. Like, fucking clones all the way. Like, the Empire should have never replaced the clones with regular humans. If anything, like the Camino factories that bred all these clones, they should have kept it going with the Jango Fett DNA. Because honestly, I think if the Empire would have kept the clones, they would have had a better, stronger army. And hands down, I believe on Episode 6, when they're on Endor fighting the Ewoks, I think the fucking clones would have killed all those teddy bears and smoked Princess Leia and Luke and Han and all of them. Like, hands down. If the fucking clones could wipe out all the Jedi, they would hands down slaughter all the rebels. Like, no denying that. The clones would slaughter, all the freaking rebels. Yeah, the clones would, yeah. Yeah, I might watch it. I might watch it. I mean, don't get me wrong. The new Star Wars, like, I don't like Disney and all the woke shit that they're doing, but don't get me wrong. Disney's done some good shit. I'll give Disney credit. They've done some good. Now, I'm not saying everything they've done is good, but they've done some good things. Like, I think it was cool that in the Acolyte series, they brought that character to life. The one that Kylo Ren killed in the comic books, and then took control of his little dark group. It was called the Knights of Ren. I think it's cool that they made a live action version of the character Ren, and they brought him in the Acolyte series. I think he's a pretty cool character. I don't like Kylo Ren. I don't like the Disney trilogy, but I do think the Knights of Ren, though, the group, I think that's a pretty cool group. I don't like Kylo Ren, but I do like the Knights of Ren, though. I think they're pretty mysterious and cool. Like, they were, you know, they need to like do a movie solely like based on them, because it would be kind of cool. But like not with Kylo Ren, but with the original leader Ren. And the reason Kylo Ren's name is Kylo Ren is because when he killed the leader of the Knights of Ren, he killed the leader Ren and then adopted his name. Now the Kylo part, I don't know where that came from, because originally his name's just Ben Solo. So he took inspiration from the original leader of the group by adopting the last name Ren. But the Kylo part, I don't know where that came from. That's what I'm telling you. But I do think the character Ren is pretty cool. I think the character Ren is actually like a mysterious kind of cool character. It just sucks that he lost to Kylo Ren, and then Kylo Ren like took his group. It's like, damn. It's kind of like being in the cool kids club, you know, at school. You got all these different groups, and it's like you're like well respected, and then it's like you get your ass kicked, and then like, you know, the person like that kicks your ass like steals your friends from you. It's kind of like that, you know. And like in one of the comic books, Darth Vader actually fought the character Ren, like years prior, before like Ren fought Kylo Ren, and Kylo Ren killed him and took the Knights of the Ren over as the new leader. Like Darth Vader actually crossed paths with the old leader and fought the old leader. But I want them to do more. Like, they need to do more backstory on that character. I just think he's interesting. Like, he's not like a Sith, but he's like just the leader of the Knights of Ren, or was the leader until he, you know, was killed by Kylo. Yeah, he thought he was pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah. That's how Kylo Ren turned to the dark side. He killed Ren, and then took over the Knights of Ren and became the new leader. And then he bled his crystals and made his iconic red cross saber. I never liked Kylo Ren. I'm going to be honest, I never liked Kylo Ren's costume, though. I always thought it was like a knockoff between Darth Revan, and it was a knockoff between Vader. But the only cool thing was his saber, his lightsaber. That's about it. Honestly, I fucking believe without a shadow of a doubt, it would be cooler to see Darth Vader with the Knights of Ren, wouldn't it? Because it just, how he's got the matching helmet and the cape. It would be cool for him to be like or they could just make Vader, like Vader could have his own cult, like his own following cult. I mean, he kind of already does, because he, in a way, he kind of like, he leads the Inquisitors. But the Inquisitors really work more for Sidious than they do Vader. But then I don't really know. But, you know. I'm going to tell you guys, my favorite Sith Lords, I'm going to give you all a fucking rundown of my favorite Sith Lords. Hands down, my first favorite Sith Lord is Darth Vader. But My second would have to be Darth Nihilus because I thought Darth Nihilus is just an absolute badass Sith because he was like one of the strongest Siths and he was like able to like destroy planets and suck up all the life in it. And they called him the Lord of Hunger, and he was the apprentice of Darth Traya. And his friend was he had a friend, which she had. Darth Traya had two apprentices, Nihilus, and then she had Sion. And this is back before the Rule of Two. The Rule of Two, I never understood the whole Rule of Two meaning because, like, the Rule of Two is basically like a master and apprentice. But before that, before Darth Bane started that shit, they had a Sith Order. But they were wiped out by the Jedi. And, you know, Sidious wasn't the first. He wasn't the first Emperor Sith. It was actually Darth Vitiate of the Old Republic. That was he was the Chancellor, and then he became, you know, he revealed himself as Darth Vitiate. I honestly think the Old Republic had a lot of really cool villains and shit, but I do have to say my favorite era is the Clone Wars. But besides Clone Wars, I like the Old Republic. Now, the Galactic Wars, I just don't care for the Galactic Wars. I love Vader, don't get me wrong. I love Vader, but I don't like the Empire. They're fucking, in my opinion, weak. And the Rebels are just, like, garbage. They're just a bunch of, like, politicians with guns, and they're not really good soldiers. And they kind of, what it is they recruit every, like, different human species all over the galaxy. So I never liked the Rebels and I never liked the Empire. I've always been a fan of the Republic. The Republic is my favorite faction in Star Wars. I do love the Separatists, though. Don't get me wrong, I love the Separatists, but I'd say the Republic's my favorite faction. Yeah, you really like Darth Nihilus? I like Darth Nihilus too. He's badass. It took like fucking 6, 7 Jedi to kill him, I read. And he's actually still... he's actually one of the oldest Sith that are actually still alive after his supposed death. Like, meaning he put his consciousness in his robe and mask. And then they took his robe and mask and put it on the Sith homeworld in a vault where no one could get it. And then, like, rumor has it, like, if you was to wear the mask of Nihilus, he would be resurrected and he would project his spirit into the new host of whoever dons his mask and robes and shit. So I think that's badass. I like Nihilus. And I like Vitiate. But one of my other favorite Sith Lords is actually the master of Darth Plagueis' master, who's Darth Sidious's master. Darth Plagueis' master, which was Darth Tenebrous. I thought Darth Tenebrous. There's not much lore on Tenebrous, but I know that Tenebrous, from what I heard, was a strong Sith, but he wasn't as strong as his apprentice Plagueis. But we know Plagueis was stronger than Sidious. But I do like Plagueis' master. I do like Tenebrous. I think he is interesting. His race, he was called a Biff. That was the name of his race. He was a Biff. And they're the alien species that you see in the Star Wars Cantina scene in Episode 4, that little music band. So that's his race. That's the name of his species. They're called a Biff. It's kind of a weird name. Kind of makes me think of Biff from Back to the Future, but that's what they're called. So yeah, Darth Tenebrous is pretty fucking cool. Sorry if I cuss a lot. I just sometimes I like getting into these, topics, and, that's just how I talk. I'm sorry if I drop too many F-bombs. If some of y'all are underage, I apologize for dropping too many F-bombs. But, I mean, if it doesn't bother you, then cool. But then again, if you're underage, maybe you shouldn't watch my channel, but I can't control what my audience does, It really don't matter. If you're cool with me, I'm cool with you.
I mean, I'm 24, so if a 16, 17-year-old's watching this, it at least, I mean, like, long as you're not like 9 or 10, I think we're cool. Like, long as you're not 9 or 10, we're cool. Like, if you're 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, then you probably don't need to watch my shit. But if you're like 16 on up, then we're cool. Like, just, um, yeah. Because the way I look at it is like 18 is an adult, but 16 is like 2 years younger than 18. So it doesn't really matter. Just as long as you're not like 15 or 14, I think we're good. I didn't hear anything about that, no. I'll have to look more into that. I don't think I've heard anything like that. But I'll definitely, thanks for giving me the heads up. I'll do my research. I'll look into that. Yeah, I'll look into that for sure. Yeah, AI stuff, AI technology, yeah. It is, yeah, technology is getting more and more advanced. I mean, I know technology can be a distraction for some people, and a lot of people criticize this technology. But the way I look at it is sometimes technology can be very useful. I mean, like, fucking these, like, older generation, they'll say, I like things were so much easier back in the day and this and that. And I'm like, maybe so, but some things have gotten better to a certain extent. Like, it's so much easier to get on your phone and ask, Google a question than to go to like, say, a local library and dig for information on a topic that you're concerned in asking. Like, if you're wanting to like research like something about history, for say example, about like, say, if you want to research like Charles Darwin or somebody, like an author, and it's like you just want to like know a quick question about them. It's better to just like look it up on your phone and get the short answer you need than to like go to a freaking library and dig for all these books until you find like the right answer you're looking for or whatever. Like, so yes, I do think technology does come in handy and has its, certain flaws and whatnot, but it can be useful. If technology is used in the right way, as it should be, I think it can be useful. Now, if it's used in the wrong way, like if you're just sitting on your phone on your ass all day, then yes, I do think technology can be a distraction, because you do need to get out and live. Like, we all can agree, you do need to get out and live. You do need to, make the best for yourself in life. But if you're just sitting on your ass on your phone all the time, it ain't really helping anybody or yourself. You do have to stay active. Staying active is good for your mental health and for your body. But it doesn't hurt getting on your phone every once in a while and looking at things or live streaming, because sometimes it can be fun. Sometimes it's good to, seek comfort from someone on the internet who is cool with you. Now, if they're an asshole, that's when how you have to block them and just ignore it, because that's probably just some virgin living in their mom's closet or basement wanting to, like, gain some kind of attention because you have more subscribers than they do, or some kind of jealousy bullshit. I don't know. I don't really have time to get on the internet and be an idiot and say stupid shit to people, because honestly, it's just fucking drama. It's not worth it. I mean, if anything, if I get on the internet, I'm getting on the internet so I can, make a friend and talk to someone and have some good, conversation. But, yeah. I get that, I get what you're saying, yeah. And I guess that might be because of technology. That is true. I think people should read books, yes. But if you're wanting to know something, like just a quick answer on something, it is good to just Google it. But if you really want to like get involved in it and you really want to know more about it, it is also good to read too. Like for example, I'm thinking about one day getting me the because I like studying like murder mysteries and cases and stuff. I'm thinking about getting me the Helter Skelter book. That's I think it was the author of its name is Tom. I think it's Tom O'Brien Tom O'Brien. He's a author, and he wrote this book about Charles Manson and the Manson family and the death and murder of actress Sharon Tate. I'm thinking about one day getting that book because yes, I already know all the story and all the detail about what the Manson family did, but honestly, I want like to either rent that book from a library or I want to just like order it offline or off Amazon or somewhere and just like read it at home. If like my local library don't have it, I want to buy that book because there is certain books I do want to read. It is good to read books. Like I have the Sith book. I own this like Sith book or whatever, Star Wars Sith book. I think my girlfriend has it right now, but whenever she comes back, I'm gonna get that book from her and read it. It's a good book. Yeah, you heard about that book? You're talking about the Charles Manson one? Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good book. I mean, like, I'd never gotten to read it, but I hear I hear all these good things about the Helter Skelter book, and I'm like really fascinated by it. Not because not because I view serial killing as like a like I don't view it as like a what do you call it, like as like some kind of weird like inspiration or something. And no, I just like serial killers because I think they're fascinating. I don't care for what they do. I don't support what they do, but I like the stories. They even make books that are just like murder mysteries that are just like made up. Like remember the book that you had when you were here? It was the murder at the Kennedy Center, or the murder at the White House, or the murder at the just books that are just made up that are just fun to read. I like murder mysteries. Yeah, I know. I get you. I get what you mean. Yeah. Sometimes it is good to just rest your brain. Sometimes it's good just not to even pick up a book or get on your phone or watch TV. Sometimes it's just good to fucking like rest your brain from all this shit. But, sometimes, yes, it is good to read a book over, getting on the phone and stuff. That's why I mentioned the Helter Skelter thing. Because I think I would rather read the Helter Skelter book than just look it up online. I think I would like better because, like, because when you watch things on YouTube, just read things off the internet, it doesn't always show you everything you're looking for. So it is good sometimes to get a book and read a book and do it the old-fashioned way. But I guess it just really depends on what mood you're in. Yeah, those are good books. I know. My mom reads those murder mysteries. Like she reads Murder She Wrote. I know you're not really a big Murder She Wrote fan, but she was a fan of the TV show and all that, and she likes reading that stuff. I know you like Stephen King. You like reading the Stephen King books like The Shining and Misery and all that, which the Stephen King stuff is great. Stephen King also did a book about it, Pennywise. Hell, he did a book about all his fucking movies. What am I saying? But yeah, I know I gave you that Thrawn book. I need to get back and read the Thrawn book though. I love all the Star Wars books, Star Wars comics, and I also love like I said, murder mystery books too, but also history books. Especially alternate history. Like there's this book called Man in the High Castle. Great book, by the way. And it's about what if Nazi Germany won World War II. That's a really good book. Because of what the predictions could have been if the Nazis won. I mean, I'm not hoping that by any means. I'm glad the fucking Nazis lost. Because it'd be a fucked up place if they won. Maybe. I don't know. But from how the show predicts it, yeah, it's fucked up. Or how the book predicts it, yeah. Like they also got the show in the book. So all the books I want that I want to read at home. And yes, I mean not on my phone, but all the books that I want in person to like read right now. I wish I just had all stacks of them. Okay, number one book I want to read is For Skelter by Brian O'Neill, and another one is Man in the High Castle I just mentioned. And another one is the book about Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber. And then I want to also read the book about the Zodiac Killer, because they did a book about him. And I also want to read the book about the one about D.B. Cooper. D.B. Cooper. I like to read mystery books like that. Even if the mystery books itself doesn't always have something to do with murder, because believe it or not, they do make mystery books that isn't, always about murder, but the ones that are about murder are pretty interesting, but there's all kinds of different ones, like conspiracy theory ones and stuff like that too. Yeah, I was just saying I like alternate history stuff, but about the Nazis winning World War II, that's not something I wish would have happened. No, I just mean I think the concept of the book is cool because it was a book published by a author who wrote stories that were like that. Like, there was a story about, what if who is it? Benjamin Franklin became president or some shit, and United States bird, instead of it being an eagle, it's a turkey or some shit. That's kind of like, I know that might sound kind of boring, but that's kind of interesting, somewhat. Or what if John F. Kennedy survived? Yeah, I heard D.B. Cooper finally been revealed. Yeah, I heard that. I know that's kind of it's kind of a shocker. Yeah. I'm going. You know what? Since you brought that up, I'm going to look more into that later on. I'm going to look more into that story later on. Haven't gotten around it, but I heard that it's been revealed, and yeah, I'm going to definitely get into that. See what they all found out. Yeah, it would be interesting, yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I'm yawning. I'm tired. It's fucking, what time is it right now? It's 3:28 a.m. Well, guys, it's been great talking to you. I'm sorry to cut this kind of short, but I kind of been on here for a while. I need to get some sleep, y'all. Y'all have a good night. And next time I'll go live, it'll be sometime tomorrow night, sometime around the same time. So just everybody, stay tuned for tomorrow night. And we'll do another live stream and we'll talk about more things, okay? Peace.